Welcome to the Afrocentric Woman, where our mission is to inspire Black women to heal core wounds and embrace a luxurious and abundant lifestyle. Thank you for joining me. Let's talk, sis. Hello, lovelies. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'm coming here today to talk to you about limiting beliefs, core beliefs, and how they can shape, our behavior and our feelings about our life and about our choices, about our options. So what made me think about this was a while ago, I had been talking with a guy, and we talked probably for about 2 weeks or so. My schedule was really busy, and it was hard to schedule a date. But we finally scheduled a date. We scheduled a brunch on a Sunday. So I met him for brunch, and we were just chatting and talking. And I knew a little bit about his situation with his son, with him sharing custody with his ex-wife, or I don't think it was his ex-wife, just his child's mother. And he'd mentioned something about the child moving to a better school district near him, and having a better opportunity for college because of that. High school has better college placements and things like that, and based on where, as opposed to where he was at the mother's school district. And I thought, well, that makes sense. I don't think children want to leave their friends, but I think sometimes as a parent, sometimes we have to make those executive decisions that really piss our children off in the short run, but very well down the line, when he has a full scholarship and a great career or great business, he'll probably look back and be like, dang, thank you, Dad, or thank you, Mom, for putting me in the better school. I'm so happy I had these opportunities. So I was agreeing with him that I thought it was a good idea, and he was saying that he was having all these issues with the mom, and that there was violence in the home with the mother, with her spouse, and that the son had been exposed to the violence and had even tried to intervene on his mother's behalf. And I said, well, did you report it? And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, why don't you get your son out of that environment? Oh, and he just kept saying, I'm powerless, I'm powerless, I'm powerless. And I'm just like, I'm trying to understand why you feel like that, because family court has really gone a long way to be very accommodating to fathers and to men in general. So I'm trying to understand why you haven't done anything to get your son out of that environment if you really feel it's dangerous. Like, help me understand. And why haven't you gone and filed a report? Why didn't you call CPS? Why haven't you done anything? And he's just like, well, I'm powerless. There's nothing I can do. And it's like, okay, well, tell me more. It's like, well, if I go to the court and I try to petition for more, visitation or, residential custody, and what if I lose? And what if she countersues me for more child support and I have to pay child support? So I was really like, so is the real issue at hand is that you don't want to risk having to pay more child support? That's what it really is. But it's not the fact that you don't know what to do or that you can't do anything. It's just you're choosing not to. And I don't know, maybe that was a bit abrasive. Maybe that was a bit rash, but I'm just trying to repeat back what I'm hearing here, because I think that the soothing story is, I'm such a great dad and I'm so powerless. This behemoth of a court has taken my child away from me, and the mother is trash, and she's not allowing me to see my son the way I want to, and she's ruining him with her influence is negative, and the environment is violent, and I can't get my son. I think that's the soothing narrative, because it absolves him of all responsibility. It's sort of like this whole get out of action free card. Like you don't have to do anything. You can just sit there and just wallow in sorrow because the court is evil, the woman is evil, everybody's against you, and you're powerless. He just kept saying that. I mean, he said that multiple times. I'm powerless. I'm like, you know what? I would really challenge that. I'm powerless. And basically, he was just so committed to this narrative. This is the narrative that he has constructed in his mind, and he's comfortable with it. He's comfortable with that narrative, and, it's serving a purpose in his life because it keeps everything as is. It doesn't shake anything up. And he gets to live his life and then tell other people about this story. Like, this story is very valuable to him, right? So I said, well, I told him, I would just examine one thing that you have said over and over and over again. And I would examine, is it really true? You said that you're powerless, and you've said that a lot of times. I'm powerless, I'm powerless, I'm powerless. But you and I have talked within this past hour and a half about various different strategies and things that you could do to fix this situation and to make things better for your son. So, are you really powerless? And I said, you don't have to answer that. Don't answer me right now. Like, this is sort of rhetorical. It's just something to reflect on. Are you really powerless? I think that sometimes we can limit ourselves with statements like that and really sort of pigeonhole ourselves into a corner when we don't have to, when there may be a way out of the situation, there may be a way to improve a situation, there may be a way to make things better for ourselves. But sometimes you just have to take stock of what is the story that I'm telling myself. How is the story serving me? You're like, oh, but it's a negative story. It's totally useless. No, not really. Because that story can get him sympathy, which can get him attention. That story can prevent him from having to file, if I'm powerless, the court is so all powerful, the court is against me, and okay, so then I don't have to go file a petition. I don't have to hire a lawyer. I don't have to do any research. I don't have to document what's going on in my child's home. And I don't have to take the responsibility for not calling CPS the first time. I don't have to own that. I don't have to be accountable to that. I'm powerless, right? So I don't have to call. I don't have to pick up the phone and dial. I'm too powerless to call. I'm too powerless to take action and to do something to help the situation. You see how the story is serving him, really? This story that he's created in his head is serving him. So, me coming along and being like, with fresh eyes and looking at it like, I don't see a powerless person sitting in front of me. Like, I don't know what you see in the mirror, but I see a person who has power, and I see a person who has options, and I see a person who can take initiative and take action if you really truly want to help your son. Now, if you want to use this story to gain sympathy from me, and I don't know what else, then maybe that's the purpose. But if you really have the intention to improve the life of your son, wallowing in powerlessness isn't going to help you. There are a plethora of actions that you can take to improve the situation. So that was that. Anyway, needless to say, I didn't go out with him again. Not because of that. He was just kind of like a whiny type of guy in general, because he was whining about something else, and he was whining about like not spending time with me, and it was just kind of came off as like wah wah wah. I didn't like that, because the men in my life who want to see me, like, they make it happen whatever way they got to do. Like, they really make it happen. So I'd already kind of told him what he can do to see me more. And I also had told him, I'd also given him all my schedule options. So he wasn't taking advantage of the time slots that he could have, and was instead sending me these long, whiny text messages. And I don't engage with all of that. And then we just fell off. We just stopped communicating, but it was for the best. It wasn't going to be the best match. We weren't going to be the best match. So, anywho, after that, maybe not long after that, I mean, I kind of needed to take my own medicine, because there was a period of time where I was kind of getting frustrated with some things that I had going on with my child, and just trying to get everything together. And as I've shared on this channel before, her father doesn't financially support me or physically support me in any way as it pertains to our child. Like, nothing. Like, doesn't come around, doesn't send not one red American penny. So I was just feeling really frustrated, and I was saying, like, I'm doing everything by myself. I'm doing everything alone. I'm doing everything by myself. And I just had to stop, and I was like, okay, hold on. Now, her dad isn't participating. That is true. But am I really alone? Is that a true statement? And I just had to reflect on everybody that's pouring into my child. I had to reflect on that. The people at her school, I mean, they are God sent. They love my child, the way, almost, not the way I love her, but they love my child and care for her and my family members and my friends. And it's just amazing, and I'm grateful. Like, I just had to really think about, is that really true? Am I really alone? I'm not alone. There's a village. I have a village. I'm not alone. I had to shift out of that thinking, and I had to challenge that thought, because that thought was making me feel bad. It was making me feel isolated. It was making me feel just sort of depressed, and overwhelmed. And I just tapped into gratitude for every kind word, every gift, friends who have babysat or taken my child to fun events, people who invite us to birthday parties, my family members who get her clothes and shoes and call and video chat, and advice that people have given me, and other mothers who are further along the journey than I am, and their advice and their encouragement. And I am so grateful for the village that I have around me, and I'm so grateful and thankful. I'm grateful for the men in my life too. My brother, especially. I'm especially grateful for my brother. And I'm also grateful for the men in my life that either I'm dating or I've dated and now we're friends. Because honestly, a lot of them still help me. They still come through for me. The men who I'm just, we dated and we just became friends. And I'm grateful for them. And I'm grateful for the men in my life who've recently come through. I was like, hey, I've got this thing, for my child. And, and all of them came through. Like, all of them came through, and I'm just grateful. I'm not alone. I am surrounded by love. I'm surrounded by people who cherish me. I'm surrounded by people who cherish my child. I'm surrounded by helpful people. I'm surrounded by care and protection, and I'm so grateful. So Just wanted to share that with you, and also just encourage you to, stop in your tracks if you have one of those extremely limiting thoughts, and really challenge it and look at it from different angles and ask yourself, is it true, and what's really true about your situation? And tap into gratitude. Thank you for listening. Peace.
Thank you so much for sharing your time and attention with the Afrocentric Woman. Special gratitude to our subscribers. If you'd like to stay connected with this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you like this content, please hit the like button. If you have any comments or thoughts about the content shared, please drop down into the comment section and let us know. Remember, you are worthy, you are enough, you are unique, and you are lovable. And I appreciate you.